Hi, my name is Paetra, and I'm an evolutionary astrologer. And I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about a course that I'm offering. It's called Wheel of the Year, and it's an annual class. This will be the sixth year that I've taught it. And I just want to talk to you guys a little bit about it because it's really fun. I'm gonna share my screen so we can
Uh-huh.
see what's going on here. So this is a class that is based on the Wheel of the Year. And what that means is that we meet once a month and we talk about astrology as the base. I mean, really the root of this class is astrology, herbalism, there's some Ayurveda in it, and heirloom magic, what I like to call heirloom magic. And what that means is that um we're living in very strange times. Let's just be frank and real. And they're very dysregulating. And it's very foreign and very strange, all these things that we're facing. And what I have been doing for years, and I'm doing the same thing, but I'm doubling down now because it feels so important, is keeping us connected to the magical architecture of the year that is based on the interplay of the sun and like the light and the dark, basically. If we think about Western astrology, tropical Western astrology, which is what I practice, this is based on the seasons of the year. It's pinned to the seasons. And this is a class that really explores that because we begin on spring equinox. And then what we do is we go through the month, we talk about the sign, and we talk about, the energetics of each sign. We talk about the ruling planet. Sometimes there's more than one ruling planet. We talk about astrophilosophy, and there's a lot of great art. It's very visually stimulating. And, one of the ways that I know this is a great class is that people take it more than once. In fact, there's some people that have taken it three times and people give it as gifts to other people after taking it. And it's a really nice container because we meet and we go through the archetypes, and then we also have a little bit of discussion. So each component, each month is going to contain, we're going to learn about the ruling planet, we're going to learn about the archetype, the sign, where the sun is, and then we're going to learn about something to do with herbs that relates to the time. And we also go through the cross quarter days. So we talk about spring equinox, here's Taurus. See, we talk about the planet. And we'll talk about traditional things that are associated with the holy days, the cross quarter days. For example, this is from the Taurus class. This is the Maypole. This is, in the 1800s. So, there's a lot of information. It's presented in ways that's very digestible. The herbal component also has instructions. This is a sigil. This is something that we learn about in the Gemini class. I'm just trying to give you guys as much useful and fun information for how do we navigate the year, the wheel of the year as it turns. Every month has its own unique properties and history. How have people, expressed the joy and the engagement with these different types of energies and times of the year. So I'm just showing you some slides to give you a taste of this class. We take a deep dive into the evolutionary astrology interpretation of each of the signs, which is really rich. And there's also a playlist, and there's also a little bit of homework. It's optional, but there's ritualistic homework that comes with each month. And it's an hour a month, and you can make it longer if you want by doing, a deeper dive. But it's just to give you a touchstone for where are we. So the classes, we're about to wrap up the last year. We're about to do Pisces this weekend. So, as the sun moves into the sign, it gives everybody in the class an opportunity to really, contemplate where we are, relate to it. If you have Pisces, for example, in your chart, this would give you an ability to understand that part of your chart because I'm not just talking about, 1/12 of the population each month. We all have all the signs somewhere in our charts. And so, for example, if I personally have Pisces that rules my fifth house, which means, if I was taking this class, I would then be learning, okay, what's the fifth house? The house of fun and pleasure and romance and children. I bring a Pisces approach to this house. So, there's some education and a lot of just delightfulness, really. It's a fun class. I mean, obviously I've made it, so I like it, but the feedback that I've gotten is that it's wonderful. And it's going to start again on spring equinox, and I would love to have you in the class. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out, and I'm going to attach some other information about the class, but thanks so much for listening.